Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41.
Ooh, so creepy.
Spooky. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode number 19 of Chilled and Killed, a true crime podcast where we discuss a crime over a glass of wine or two. We're your hosts, Sam
And Amanda.
And this week we are discussing an infamous case of Lizzie Borden. Did she murder her family? We may never know the real truth.
And for this week's wine, we chose...
Ooh, I'm so excited.
We went for the spook season. So, it's called Skeleton. It's a Malbec from Mendoza, Argentina. So,
We partially picked it, one, for spook season.
Yes.
Two, because it's bright pink, and that's Panda's favorite color. Black and pink, come on.
Mm-hmm. And, this is a big boy.
It's a 1 liter.
It's huge. So we really don't plan on drinking this whole bottle. But hey, you never know.
We don't plan on it. It's probably going to happen. We'll see.
Yeah.
Crack her open.
You gotta cut
The thing first.
the thing first. Good luck cutting the thing and not your... Oh yeah, if you go low, then you probably don't really risk your your fingers as much. Even though it should not be serrated, it's really stupid of it. You know?
Really?
Well, I don't know. I feel like having a serrated knife it's not necessary.
Yeah, because it's not really like it's
not helping it any.
That is the famous sound of Chilled and Killed.
Yes. Well, and a Panda pour.
Yeah, those two things.
So,
Panda pour and opening the cork.
yeah. Okay. Well, we have, these are cheap, but we got cute little skeleton glasses for the occasion as well. That's kind of
I hope you guys know that like Halloween season is Panda's favorite season ever. Mine is probably Christmas and Thanksgiving, and she is all about the skeleton, all about the spook, everything black, everything
Now that's true.
bats. Oh my god, look at her arm.
I do love a good bat. I will say it's actually probably tied with Christmas.
Really?
Because Christmas decorations make me so happy. Like, they're so glittery.
Okay.
It's good drinks, like a peppermint mocha.
Oh my god.
Yes.
So good.
But spook season, yes.
Which one would you say is first? Spook season or?
Almost Christmas.
Really?
Yeah.
I learned something new every day.
But, I mean, it's so close. It's really so close.
Hmm.
Okay, so we're going to pour. Guys, we found... Oh, wait, before I do this, hold on. We found
Panda found.
I found a book at Target in the $5 section when you first walk in. And it's called A Very Nice Glass of Wine, A Guided Journal. And I'll admit, I learned a lot from this $5 book. And so one of the things I learned was really like how you're supposed to be tasting wine. And obviously, you guys know, we kind of pour heavy immediately. That's kind of what we do.
You're supposed to definitely not.
Definitely not. So we're going to try today to follow the book a little bit more. And so we're going to pour a little in, swirl it, smell it, and give it a taste a little bit more professionally, if you will. Or we're going to try. So let's pour a little bit and see what happens.
You're going to have to teach me because you told me there was this whole like
Oh, yeah.
aeration, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that is not a little bit. It's not a little bit.
Well,
It's a Panda pour of a little bit. It's supposed to be like a taste.
Well, no, you need more than that. You need to swirl it and, like, get it going. So, a little more than, like, a drop.
Really?
But,
okay.
Yeah. If you're going to do this to spit it back out, then no. If you're going to do it to continue drinking it, then this is fine.
Okay.
Because, like regular wine tastings, you kind of are supposed to spit the wine back out. Crazy.
No.
But anyway, so let's give this a... Ooh, God. Don't do it over your computer.
Oh my god, good point. So you swirl it.
You swirl it. Give it a kind of an aggressive swirl.
Okay.
And then you're supposed to really...
A sniff?
A really strong sniff you're supposed to do. A sniff. oh man. A strong sniff.
Okay. Swirl.
And then before you drink it right now, do it again, but like do
I'm gonna watch you first.
I've never done this. I'm doing it with you.
Oh, I thought you said you watched videos.
I watched a video. I've never accomplished. You're supposed to put a little bit of wine in your mouth after you smell it strongly. Then you're supposed to suck air into your mouth and swirl it with the wine. Now, I've never seen somebody do that cute, and I have this good feeling that it's going to result in a mess.
All right, we're gonna try it though.
Yeah. So you kind of like wine in when wine is in your mouth.
I'm gonna choke.
Don't put that much wine in.
Okay.
It's a small sip.
Okay, so you do a swirly do.
You do a swirly do, a schneef, and then
a sip
a sip and suck.
A sip and suck. Yeah.
Yep, you do that.
So
and you don't laugh because it's gonna come out then.
Okay.
Okay.
Swirly do. Okay, I cannot. I tried. No, I can't.
That is weird. I mean, it tastes... That, by the way, was the grossest sounding thing. So I may have cut that audio because it sounded slurpy and gross.
I'm just going to drink it how we normally drink it because I don't even know about all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I get a little cranberry, but it's not quite...
Well, let me
it's
go
like
back.
An earthy red.
Well, wait. Let's... So the smell. In this book, it tells you need to smell, taste, the difference between smell and taste.
Okay.
And...
I never get anything...
Great in a smell?
No, I get alcohol.
Okay, so...
Oh, wait, I didn't do the swirly do.
Okay, let's see. What happens when we do a swirly do and a schneef? Gotta stop calling it that. Or swirly do and a sniff. Oh, I went to drink it. I meant to sniff it.
I thought we said we're going to be professional.
We are not.
I almost spilled it.
Okay, I really do have to smell it for this part, I guess. I smell wine. I sound like Jared, but I smell wine.
I don't get anything from the smell. Other than alcohol, like I said.
Yeah, like it's not even, that strong compared to other wines we've had. This is a 12.8%. So, I mean, it's still by no means a weak wine in the alcohol, but...
I'm going to read it.
Okay.
Oh, wait, do you want to tell us what flavors you get?
So, can I just tell you that we're supposed to smell it, and then there's taste, which, let me tell you the difference between taste and flavor. So, taste is the characteristics. Is it bitter? Is it sweet? Is it salty? Or is it, like, acidic? I would go...
It's kind of salty.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with you on that.
I would definitely say salty. It's not really sweet.
And it's not, like, tart. I get, like, once you swallow it, it leaves a slightly salty feeling in your mouth.
But it's not...
Not texture-wise.
Like, don't think salty and think you're eating salt. Think salty and it's, like, just a residual flavor.
Like, it's a savory salty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not bad. at all.
No, it's pretty good. And then there is the flavor, which really is more involving of the smell. It supposedly, and that each one of us is going to have a different flavor of the wine. So we should all really taste the same taste of the wine.
Which we both got salty. So fair. So yeah, now like what flavors do you get?
Are going to be different than what flavors. So am I going to get oaky? Am I going to get vanilla? Am I going to get currant? Am I going to get, something that you might not get?
What do you get for this one? It's I wanted to say cranberry, but it's not really. It's more like jammy. But this is going to sound weird, but I think because of the saltiness, I think olive.
Ooh, I'm not sure I'm following you on the olive. I get the sensation
of olive.
Yeah, like that mouthfeel of an olive.
Maybe that's because of the saltiness.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But I don't get the flavor.
I kind of get the flavor. See, everybody has different flavors based on their.
It's. I can't really pinpoint this, to be honest.
It's not bad. I would say it's kind of like a cab, except you don't get spiciness.
Yep, I would agree with that.
You have the fruit flavors in there.
And it ends on a salty instead of a spicy.
Yeah, it's salty instead of like that smoky, spicy.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I truthfully still prefer cab, but
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
What the back of this says?
Okay, yeah. Let's see what the back says.
So, skeleton wines with backbone. God, I hope I don't drop this wine on my computer. Anyway, this luscious Malbec abounds with aromas of violet, plum, and blackberry jam.
Plum. I can get the plumminess.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And I was getting the jam. Mm-hmm. And then it says rich, fresh fruit and vibrant acidity makes for this lovely finish.
I'm getting the deep plumminess. I'm not sure I'm getting jam.
I get a little bit, but I think it's because I'm thinking fruit. Because you taste the fruit. Yeah. At least I taste the fruit.
It is fruity. I can't pinpoint a fruit, but it tastes good.
Yeah.
It has a good flavor.
I like it.
I'm going to put more in my cup.
Now we'll listen to the panda pour. Me too.
Right.
On our rating scale, what would you say?
So we're going to do a new rating scale.
Yes.
For this book. This book describes a 5... Well, actually, if you follow us on Instagram, we were doing a 5...
glass.
5 glass
not
emoji.
5 star.
Yeah, 5 glass. So we're going to continue on with that, actually. We're going to continue taking pictures of the bottles and uploading them with a glass. A wine glass, obviously. Mm-hmm. So a 1 glass is okay. It's not great, but it's not bad. I mean, obviously, no glasses is bad. We have one of those, don't we?
We did. What
the bubbly bullshit one.
The
what's that called? Taffeta.
Taffeta. That was so gross.
That was bad.
My god.
So that was not recommended.
Ugh.
So, but 1 glass is okay. 3 glasses is pretty good. I might put this there.
3?
Yeah. And then 5 glasses is you'll buy it again.
I would say 3. I was gonna say 4, but
3 to 4, somewhere in there, like 3.5.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, it's good. I don't think it's my favorite.
I don't think I would buy it again.
Yeah. It's like I had it and I would say, oh yeah, I've had that. It's not bad. If you want to give it a try, it's not like the most terrible thing.
Yeah, like it's an okay drink. I wouldn't buy it at a restaurant though.
No.
It's drinkable. It's a very drinkable red.
Yep. Which is probably why it comes in the 1 liter, because,
Hey, not a problem there. But
are we ready to get on with our story?
I think we are. Okay, so.
I'm excited.
Oh, actually, since, let's discuss a couple things, since clearly it's been a minute since we've uploaded.
Has been a minute.
Anything. So how have you been? Because I think people are probably curious why we stopped uploading every other week.
Great point. Life has been crazy, and we started to realize that we just needed to give ourselves a little bit more time in order to research and record and really kind of make this
fun.
That's a good word, because we were getting more stressed than we were fun. And that's why we started this, is to be fun.
Yeah, and every time I would hang out with her, it was like, okay, we have to record. We have to record. We have to record. Well, I want to hang out with her because she's my friend. Like, I want to hang out with her because she's my work partner. Like, first and foremost,
friends. Podcast second.
Yes. So we're dropping it down to once a month, which
much easier for us right now.
Yeah.
We could go back up.
We could, but for right now, I think we'll put out better content for you guys too with a once a month podcast, because we'll be more, we'll have more time. Life has a lot going on, and to try to rush to get things done does not make a better podcast. So we're just going to do once a month for a little while at least.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so for me, I've been finishing up school, so I had in my internship in Maine, and that kind of made it so difficult for us to record in 2 different places. It just brought a lot of different like headaches, but now that we're here, I'm still finishing up school. I'm studying for my board exam, so that's taken so much of my time.
Yes.
Recently bought a house, and just a lot of new and very good things going on, but we just needed to take a little break. And Panda's been in Aruba, and she's been like all over the place.
I did Aruba, then I had to obviously quarantine when I came back home because I traveled out of the country.
Yep.
Everything went swell. Aruba was fantastic. If you guys are looking for a vacation right now, Aruba is the place to go. It is a very safe. It's a very safe country. They're taking every precaution. They need us to go visit them. So if you're looking for a vacation,
good spot.
To Aruba.
Yeah, exactly. And then you had some house problems, so you've been fixing that.
Our basement's getting redone. We had a septic problem, but these things happen in life.
So yeah, we've just had some craziness going on. So thank you for being flexible with us, and we are going to definitely be putting something out once a month. In the future, it might bump up again, but for now, this works beautifully.
Perfect. Okay, so Lizzie Borden. So have you heard of her?
Yes, I'm terrible with names, so I always suck at this, but I feel... So when I first heard Lizzie Borden, I thought it was the case where the girl got adopted by that one mom who, only abused...
Gertrude.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Not quite the same. Not even really close to the same, but...
Okay.
We'll cover that one day too, because that case
is insane.
Bananas.
Oh my god.
But that's not today's case.
Insane. So that's what I thought we were covering. And then I've heard this rhyme before.
You have.
So I have.
Okay.
And I think I've heard it from another crime podcast.
Probably. And I classified it in our notes here as a nursery rhyme. And I'm not sure that that's the right word for that, because to be quite honest, that's
sing this to your child going to sleep. No.
But have you ever noticed that any other nursery rhyme is also equally as fucked up? So it's not really like the London Bridge is falling down and Humpty Dumpty literally broke apart.
Or fucking Ring Around the Rosie. That's about the black plague.
Yeah. So they're not better.
Okay, it's a nursery rhyme.
Yeah. But I think this is something that you would probably chant on the schoolyard when you're in elementary school.
So is this like a Bloody Mary spin around in the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I've never tried that, by the way.
Me either, because I am a baby and I am not.
I can't. I absolutely can't.
Because I know what it is. It's you. It's you in the mirror. But, no. I'm just better off not, worrying about it when I've got to go pee at, 2 o'clock in the morning.
No.
So.
No.
But anyway, so we'll just get into this. So, Lizzie Borden was born in Fall River, Massachusetts in 1860, which was a long time ago.
Oh, I didn't realize that's pretty close.
Yeah, very close.
Okay.
Her father was Andrew.
Sit back and chill.
And drink. Her father was Andrew, and her mother was Sarah. And she was the couple's second child. Emma was their firstborn and Lizzie's older sister. But only a few years after Lizzie was born, Sarah died. And that's very sad. And then Andrew got married 3 years later. Why are you laughing?
You being like, Sarah died, and that's very sad.
Well, but like also he moved on. I mean, I guess that's not. I mean, it is. I think it's fast, but to each their own. Sometimes that's what you gotta do.
He moved on when?
He moved on and got married 3 years later.
I don't think that's that fast.
Well, that's implying that you dated for a little bit.
Yeah, but there.
Back then, that was maybe a survival tactic.
True.
Yeah.
I think it's better than like, okay, 4 months out and you're like, okay, I'm going back. I don't know. To each their own. Like,
yep, exactly.
It is what it is, but.
Yeah, so he married a woman named Abby Durfee Gray. Obviously, she's now Abby Borden. So Lizzie's family, Lizzie and Emma and her father, the family, they grew up with pretty decent money. Andrew, when he was younger, came from not a well-off family, so when he got older, he made sure, honestly, to like do well in life. He was a manufacturer of furniture and caskets in the beginning, and then he ended up, which is kind of like, I mean, somebody's got to do it, so
yeah.
But then he ends up being right, like all these odd jobs, like somebody has to do it. So
yeah.
Then he became a property developer and owned many textile mills, which was good for the time. You'll see.
Okay.
So at the time of his death,
what the fuck is a textile mill?
I think like a cotton mill place, or like I think a lot of things can be textile mills.
Okay.
So
I'm
things.
Looking at it.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. Largely based on conversion of like yarn into fabric.
Okay.
Dyed or printed. Yeah. That kind of stuff.
So yeah, and that was obviously, that's still very important. It's just not really talked about, but obviously these are still things. Oddly, well, probably not. Probably a lot of our clothing is made in China now.
They probably have those in China.
Yes.
China. China. That's a new one.
That's a good one. It's fine. So when Andrew, spoiler alert, dies, he was actually the president of the Union Savings Bank, and he was a director of the Durfee Safe Deposit and Trust Company. So he had a lot of money. The family had a lot of money, but he was still like very frugal with his money. He didn't show it off at all, really, ever. The family's house did not have indoor plumbing.
Yeah.
It didn't have electricity.
But this was like in the 1800s.
Yeah, but they had plumbing. If they had plumbing in Rome.
Okay, you're right. You're right. Rome was like
way
super
ahead of its time.
Yeah, for like fucking 80 AD or whatever the hell it was.
I don't even know. Old.
Yeah.
But they my point was they could have had all of this, but he just didn't spend his money on these things. I don't know why. Anyway, when he died, his estate was worth $300,000.
Back then? Holy shit.
So, I converted it. It is roughly $8,600,000.
That's insane.
So, when I tell you he had money and he didn't have plumbing, it boggles my mind.
Oh my god. Can you imagine like living in an $8 million mansion and not having like plumbing in your own home? Go back.
It's quite like barbaric to have the ability to and yet not utilize it.
Yeah. That'd be some Dan shit right there.
Probably. Like, but see, I have to learn how to do this just in case.
Just in case. Like, so I'm going to make myself be tortured for the rest of my life.
Outhouse. Like, no.
Yeah.
Have fun. So the family was also raised religiously. They attended the local Central Congregational Church. I tried looking up this church. I, for the life of me, do not know what religion this is. It really doesn't matter. I was just curious.
Okay.
Is that like a... I literally Googled Central Congregational Church. Congregational Church.
Protestant.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
I never know which terminology goes with what.
so Protestant are still
They're under the, like, Christian. Yeah.
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 Okay. So Lizzie was particularly active, actually, with the church. She was involved in things such as teaching their Sunday school. She was also the secretary-treasurer of the Christian organization called the Christian Endeavor Society. She was also a member of the Ladies' Fruit and Flower Mission. Do you know what that is?
I'm assuming some type of, like, virgin...
No. So it sounds crazy, right? But they...
The Fruit and Flower Mission?
They would literally bring flowers and fruit to the sick people in the hospital and the poor in their homes every Thursday.
Well, that's very kind.
Very kind. Not I thought it was guessed.
No, I thought it would be like, okay, don't disrupt your flower. And like, yeah. Some type of like celibacy something or other.
Yeah. So, one might say she was a pillar of the community.
Uh-oh.
That's never a good thing.
I saw an eye twitch in there.
And you're saying, if you're a fan of And That's Why We Drink, you would know that a pillar of the community, it's not good. It's not. So, Lizzie's family was also fortunate enough to have a live-in maid, and her name was Bridget Sullivan. Bridget has noted that the two girls often ate dinner not at the table with their parents, well, with their father and stepmom. I personally didn't think of that as being all that odd. It honestly made me think of when you're at like a holiday dinner with your family and you are at the kids' table.
Wait, so are they saying they didn't just eat at the table, but they were at a table next to, or is it like they didn't eat together?
It wasn't really specific. So okay. I think they just didn't eat at the table with them. I don't think they had a separate table. It just made me think of it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of odd for the time.
Maybe. Like, if it was noted, then it had to have been odd.
Yeah, true.
Right? But.
Yeah. In the 1800s, I feel like it's very family-oriented. Like, it's not like, okay, everybody go to your room, watch your Netflix, and
that is true.
Do your thing. It's like, you all come together, you all eat together, you all pray together, you all...
It's very family-oriented.
Poop together. I don't know. I just kind of threw that in there.
I loved it. And also the other thing, they never, well, at least Lizzie never referred to Abby Borden as mother, which is fine. I don't think that's weird. Do you?
No, but I've heard the name Abby Borden before, so I feel like I know some parts of the story that you might like touch on, and I'm gonna be like, I've heard that before.
We'll get there because it does get kind of crazy.
Okay.
But they always referred to her as Mrs. Borden. Which, I mean, honestly, she's maybe stepmom, not mom. Most parents that are step-parents are not referred to by mother.
Yeah,
well, they were young, but whatever.
I don't think that's weird.
Bridget would not comment on if they had a great relationship, but really, honestly, clearly from researching this and me telling you all of this, they did not. They did not have a good relationship. I know that Lizzie thought that Abby was really just trying to get her father's money, which he had plenty of. But whatever. They were together for a long time, so.
Do you want me to fill? I can't speak today. My goodness. Do you want me to fill you up?
Yeah. God damn. Okay.
You're welcome.
We're gonna drink half of it.
I was gonna say, you don't want to know where it's at.
That's terrifying. Well, whatever. Anyway. So, now this is like 1892, and Lizzie is 31, 32, really depends on what time of year this is, but I had the thought, like, she's 30, she's in her 30s, it's time for her to move out.
It's still a thing. Yeah, it's like you stay in there for as long as freaking possible. It was like, it's a completely different world than it is now.
I see that. Not one for me.
No.
Not at all.
Me neither.
Okay, and so here's something weird, right? Lizzie cared for the pigeons in the barn, which...
Girl after my own heart. I gotta be honest.
I don't know if you guys know, there's a Snapchat filter currently that has a pigeon that sits on your head. The amount of Snapchats I've gotten with this one, with a pigeon on her head. She loves that filter.
Fucking love it.
She'd be friends with the pigeon in the barn.
I would.
Well,
that's Yeah.
Yeah, well, Andrew did not like them. He either believed they were attracting, I found other creatures, but I also read they were attracting other children to come and hunt them, which seems not the most likely. I don't really know. I just know that he didn't like the pigeons, and he killed them.
Huh.
And that started an argument because
she liked her pigeons.
Okay. Yeah. And honestly, they were having some family problems at this time. They were in a lot of arguments, and hey, maybe don't kill the pigeons when you know. I don't know. It's his house too, but don't kill things without a purpose is my thing.
True.
But that's all. Anyway, I digress. The family was in a lot of feuds though at this point, and a lot of them were caused because Andrew was gifting like big gifts to other family members. So like, for example, he gifted a house to Abby's family. A house.
You can't have plumbing, but you can gift a house?
Yeah. No, see, he could have plumbing. He just didn't choose to have
you
plumbing.
choose to not have plumbing.
Yeah, but then you gift a house. Yeah. So the girls, Emma and Lizzie, were super upset by this because they weren't getting anything. So they demanded something from him. And they also got a house, which was a rental property that he owned. And they ended up selling it back to him for like $1.
What?
Yeah. It was the weirdest thing. Or they bought it for $1. You know what? I could have that backwards. However, I know that it wasn't an expensive purchase in either direction. And maybe they did buy it for $1. Hey, whatever. It's not a critical part of the story.
There was some sort of exchange of $1, and it happened.
Exactly. Not
it's
critical.
in the story.
Yeah.
They were jealous. They got something out of it. Yeah. There we go.
Yep. And we move along. So just before the murders happened, the night before, honestly, which is weird, but
we're coming along.
Yeah, we are. So Andrew had been visited by his first wife, Sarah's brother. His name was John V. Morse. He came to discuss some business things, but it's, as far as I can tell, very unrelated to these murders. It just was an unfortunate time frame. And speaking of things that happened right before the murders, but doesn't necessarily seem to have a connection, the whole family did not feel good for a few days before. The doctor assumes that they had food poisoning from a spoiled stew that was left out on the stove, which
this is ringing a bell.
Yeah, you're getting there? Yep. Everyone was sick, including Bridget. I don't know why you would eat stew that you left out on the stove for days. Days. Which, is this a wood stove?
Maybe
like, if they don't have the electricity in the house, they must not have a plug-in stove.
No, probably like a fire with a cauldron.
Yeah.
Spooky season.
Yes.
No, but I think that was a thing too back in the time frame, which is why like there's so many fucking laws now about meat and how to process and how to package and stuff, because that was honestly, but that was like the thing is like you left meat out.
Yeah, that's gross.
So gross. We learn from it now. However, people had to do stupid shit like that in order for people to learn.
Okay. All right. You're not wrong. At all, obviously.
Still disgusting.
Yes. So, I know that, like, it was food poisoning, if we're going to be honest. Like, let's be real. It was food poisoning. But Abby did not think that it was food poisoning because Andrew had the tendency to piss people off, and she thought they were actually poisoned.
Huh.
But I don't believe that. I think they were eating rotten stew. So anyways, so this is now, we're into the summer of 1892, and it was a very, very hot summer. If you live in New England, you know that in August, it can get, like, oppressively muggy. Like, very humid, very hot. And they were in the middle of a heat wave, so it was hot. So from here on out, we can discuss the facts, and we can mostly agree this is how the murder would have happened, but we can't be sure, and you'll see why. So August 4th would have been like any other morning. Andrew woke up. He had breakfast with Abby. We know he went to the post office. He did leave the house and went to the post office and the bank.
I don't know why, but that sticks out in my memory too.
Okay.
There are some things. I know I've heard this before.
And it's a weird case.
Well, yeah.
Weird, maybe not so much, because I think we know what happened, but...
based on the nursery rhyme.
Yeah. So he would have been back home. He was back home around 10:30, 10:45 in the morning. Bridget, which was the family's maid, she was going around doing her duties. This particular morning, she was in the house's 3rd floor, which is where she slept, but she was up there washing the windows. But she didn't feel well because food poisoning, and she took a nap. So Lizzie ended up calling out for Bridget at around 10 after 11 in the morning. So like she actually called out for Maggie, which apparently was their prior live-in maid's name, and this bitch just was like, I'm just gonna call you Maggie, and I'm not gonna get that your name is Bridget, which is rude AF.
Yeah, what the fuck?
So
I wouldn't respond to you either.
Right. Well, she does, but it's just really, it's annoying. Lizzie told Bridget that she found her father and that he was dead. So, dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Andrew had been attacked with an axe or hatchet. Very brutally, I might add. He had been hit in the head 10 or 11 times, and his eye was very mutilated. I mean, honestly, his whole damn head was so mutilated, but everywhere you look up, this case is going to talk to you about his eye.
Why?
How disgusting. I think shock value, to be honest. Okay. Because, like, it's not just, it wasn't the only. It's not little. It's like a hatchet to the head. Like, it's violent, it's gruesome, it's bad. And he was sleeping on the couch when it had happened, so he's kind of like slumped over on the couch. You can find these crime scene photos.
I was about to.
They're very available. No, just search Andrew Borden.
I couldn't remember his first name.
Andrew Borden. Yuck.
Holy shit, though.
Yes. Isn't that messed up? So this is the actual picture here of him on the couch. Nasty.
She, like, only hatcheted his face.
Only his face.
Okay.
Gross.
Kind of understandable.
And then there's a picture of the skeleton, his skull. And, yeah, we'll end up putting that on Instagram.
Because she bashed his eye out.
Yeah. It's psycho. So now, the family's doctor lived across the street, and Bridget did go get the doctor. When he arrived, he did rule officially that both Abby and Andrew were dead, because Abby was found in the guest bedroom. She reportedly went upstairs to make the bed. What's his name? John? Lizzie's mother's brother. The one who came to visit about the whatever he was here for. I don't remember. He was there.
I don't remember what his name is.
I don't remember his name. John. Okay, I was right.
Yeah, you were right.
Okay, so John came, and he did stay over. So I think Abby was going up there, and she was going to just, like, go... I think she was actually going upstairs to go lay down. I'm not sure. Obviously, we don't really know. Something between she was either going up there to take a nap, or she was going up there to make the bed.
Something.
We will never know for sure. So... it's been determined, she was struck in the head, but on the side of her head, she was facing her killer. When whoever came in attacked her, she was hit on the side of the front of her face, and then she fell down, and then somebody attacked her 18 to 19 times, like 17-ish more times on the back of the head.
Holy shit.
Her skull was also mutilated beyond, like, you can't survive these things.
No.
Not possible. So.
Not 17 fucking hatchet hits to the head.
No. I know. I don't know how they determine how many times you actually get hit.
I know.
There's a whole, like, how do you know?
I know. Somebody's real good at their job, apparently.
Yeah. In like, 1890.
True.
That's impressive, I think.
That is impressive. Mm-hmm. I have no idea. They must know, though. And especially with all the blood and everything, like... You would think it would be so disguised, but I guess maybe, like, when you clear off the body, you can kind of see more distinct.
Direct. Yeah, like, Yeah, like when it's not just a skeleton.
Yeah. Yeah, when the body's in rigor mortis, so everything kind of just...
is congealed.
Mm-hmm.
Disgusting.
It's so gross.
But also so very fascinating.
It is.
Yeah. I am a little morbid, though.
we probably should be if we're going to have this type of podcast.
Yeah. You can't really talk about it if you can't talk about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, when the police came, they did search the house. Lizzie was really weird that day. When she arrived, she was giving them contradicting answers. She was not in a good head. Well, would you be?
I was just going to say, I feel like we know why she wasn't in the good headspace. Right. But, like, when you're in that moment, it's kind of like, okay, both your parents just got murdered. So would you ever, mutilated.
Yeah. And you saw it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you didn't watch. Well, you watched it happen.
She fucking watched it. I don't even technically know how this ends, but she fucking watched it.
Right. Well, you'd be surprised. Anyway. So the police did search in the basement, and this is funny. According to Wikipedia, which I know this is a great source, but whatever. This is where I found that they supposedly found 2 hatchets, 2 axes, and a hatchet head with a broken handle. So, is that 3 hatchets, or is that, like... I think that's 3 hatchets and one's got a broken handle.
Yeah.
And 2 axes.
Yeah.
They thought that the broken one was likely to be the murder weapon because they thought that the break looked like freshly broken. Can you really tell?
I was gonna say, how do you even...
I don't think that's like possible, but hey, what do I know? But whatever, it did not have any blood on it, and they didn't initially take it with them. Which I think is crazy. If you think that's the murder weapon and you left it behind, you take it as evidence.
Oh my god.
No, they did not. Nope. They'd come back for it a couple days later, though. But
was it there?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, as for the suspects, well, they knew that the Borden's eldest daughter, Emma, was not the one who did it because she was out of town. She had a pretty good alibi. Bridget hadn't done it because she was on the 3rd floor washing the windows or possibly taking a nap, recovering from food poisoning. Personally, if I were truly sick, I could see her being ruled out easier than if she were just washing the windows.
Yeah.
Because if you're really sick like that, I would say that type of murder took effort.
Like, you can go to the next floor.
Right.
Like,
and then go back up.
Like, it's not good of... You're still in the house.
Yeah. No, officer, it wasn't me. I was washing the windows upstairs.
Oh, upstairs, yeah. Great alibi.
Yeah. And so, then there's Lizzie. Well. Oh, wait. Before there was Lizzie, there's another one. There's John.
I was just going to ask.
Yes. So, John had a strong alibi because he had woken up in the morning and he left. And he was in another town, and there was an alibi for that. So, it was not him. Because the time frame wouldn't have matched up.
Okay.
So then there's Lizzie. So Lizzie's the only one left that's a likely suspect. But she wasn't initially arrested for this. But I told you she was kind of acting weird.
Yeah.
Well, she was acting weird. She just never answered anything like the same way twice, which is not a good sign.
No.
Neither actually is answering everything the exact same way every time either, though. Because
True.
that's a lie that you practiced.
Yeah. Good point.
Good point. Little bit of in between is ideal. You can't flip-flop 100.
You can't have, like, the extremes on both ends.
Mm-hmm. So, a few days later, what was it, August 2nd? August 2nd?
3rd?
4th.
2nd, 3rd, 4th. One of the two.
August 4th was when the murders occurred. And then on August 11th, Lizzie was arrested. So... here's the thing. Crime scenes back then were not treated the same way that crime scenes are treated today. Sadly, but expected, to be honest. So there was not crime scene tape roping everything off immediately. So nobody was really stopped from tampering with any possible evidence. Whatever. And this was the hot gossip of the day in a town that's probably otherwise quite boring.
Probably.
And
good point.
So, everybody wanted to go catch a glimpse of anything that they could.
So fucking the entire town was in this room.
Yes. So how can you take anything seriously after this?
True.
So I also read on biography.com that Lizzie had burned the dress that she was wearing the day that they found her father and stepmom. She claimed that it was stained with paint.
Blood.
Blood.
Blood. Blood.
Yeah, the red paint.
Oh, that kind of paint.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
just like, it was stained with Malbec.
Yeah. Well, with us, that might be true.
Yeah, but we wouldn't fucking burn our clothing.
That's my point. Even if you had paint on it, that's not a normal reaction of, shit, I got paint on my dress. Like,
you'd throw it away, maybe.
Throw it away, maybe. Keep it, repurpose it, use it for things like when you're doing something dirty.
Good point. In that time frame, you would repurpose any fucking thing you could.
Yeah, there's no
any
reason.
Fabric, yeah.
Yeah, cut it. Use a little, I don't know. Anyway, I just thought that was quite damning. Damning. Quite damning evidence. Damning. Yeah, if you want to pronounce it the way it's spelled.
True.
Spelt.
Spelt.
I'm having a day.
I am too. It's okay. Spelt? Which kind of bread are we making?
Wheat. Anyway, so I think that goes without saying that she did something a little bit sketchy. Prosecutors would also argue that it was stained with blood, and that's why she burned it, to get rid of any of the connecting evidence.
Obviously. Thank you.
Yeah. So, Lizzie was indicted on December 2nd, 1892, and her trial started the following year in June, so June 1893. I'm going to read you some of the prominent points in the trial according to Murderpedia. So, 1, they had found the hatchet in the basement of the house, and that we know for a fact, but it wasn't able to be proven as the murder weapon. They just found a hatchet.
Okay.
I mean, I probably have an axe or a hatchet. It doesn't mean that it... Anyway. The prosecution argued that the handle was removed to remove blood evidence. But an officer testified that the handle was found near the hatchet, but then another officer disagreed. So honestly, who the hell knows what's going on with this hatchet? I just think if you can't... Well, first of all, if you didn't take it with you the day of the murder when you found it, it is no longer...
valid evidence.
Yeah, because it has had too much time to be tampered with, especially with people coming in and out.
Yeah.
Second was no bloody clothing was ever found.
Because it was burned.
Exactly. Yeah. Because murdering somebody in that fashion is going to be very dirty.
Well, okay, so the one thing that's kind of confusing to me...
It doesn't look dirty.
Yeah, but the crime scene looks pretty neat.
Yeah, because I would assume that there should be splatter up on the
somewhere.
walls.
On the couch, you would think that if he's...
pulling.
We're gonna put these pictures on our, Instagram or our social media or whatever. But it's, for those who don't follow us, he is sitting... Go follow us. 1.
Chilled and Killed Podcast.
True. True that. But for her father, he's sitting on a couch with his head freaking bashed in. You can't even see his face.
Right.
You can't even see his... it's literally 3/4 of his face is just demolished. Mm-hmm. And he's sitting there he's slumped over taking a nap on the side with his feet hanging off, but the couch cushion isn't, messed up. There's no blood splatter on the wall. There's no blood pooling on the floor. Besides for his face looking demolished, it looks like it very neat and clean and as if he's taking a weird shaped nap.
Yes, doesn't it almost look like this man was killed and then
placed there?
Yes.
It has to be.
But that's not how it was ever ruled. But look, now that I'm looking at it,
his head is on the pillow. But if you got hatcheted in the face,
there's no blood on the pillow.
No blood on the pillow, and so he must have been like that for a while, actually.
Supposedly, the doctor had come over and he'd been dead for about 10 minutes. The blood was still wet and he had been dead for about 10 minutes. He had been killed at 11 o'clock and at 11:10. That's the time frame they're going on. He was killed at 11 o'clock in the morning. By 11:10, Lizzie found him, and Bridget quickly got the doctor across the street. It wasn't He walked across the street.
That sounds like that was what was told to the doctor.
Yes.
And the doctor followed that timeline. There's no way that this man was dead for 10 minutes with a clear, like, no, not even
he's
bloody pillow.
He's clearly bashed in, but very oddly doesn't. I've never even looked at this and thought that until right now. But that does not look like a crime scene.
What was?
Abby.
She was the same way.
She was found on the floor upstairs, face down.
Yeah. Okay, so she has more blood pooling on the ground. And you see a tiny little splatter. But
he should have splatter up the wall.
There should be a
splatter. Lot of blood
everywhere.
Yeah. Because if you were going to whack somebody once, it's going to splatter. If you keep it, and not even, from the whack, but even from the repetitive flinging up.
Oh, yeah, you would fling it in the back. Good point. And the other thing, too, is, like, if somebody comes in at you with unless they get you good and then you're down.
He was sleeping, supposedly. So, he wouldn't fight back, but.
I was going to say, there's no, like, defense, anything with his hands, but good point. If he's sleeping, then likely not. But still, you're missing look, it's white walls.
They've got white doors and there's blood nowhere.
Nowhere. And then you would have, if she was hit on the side of the head, because that's what they said.
Yep, side first, and then she fell down forward.
No splatter.
Yeah, there's nothing.
That might be splatter.
It's probably not based on the rest of these pictures.
True. No splatter in the front because she was supposed to be hit in the back, too. And look, she's, like, perfectly kneeled.
That almost looks like a rigor mortis set in. She is at the point where she is propped up, which if you
with
are
her
dead
legs
limp, you won't be propped up.
Yeah.
You would have to be posed as such. Okay. So anyway, we're going to post these pictures so that you guys can go look at them too. And let us know what you think. Because now that I'm looking at them, I find them to be even more suspicious than I originally thought.
Yeah. She's laying face down. So one, like we talked about, you'd have splatter. Two, if you're laying face down and you got murdered, you wouldn't be able to position your knees, like, flexed. Her knees are flexed as almost if she's, like, kneeling on the ground.
It's like she kneeled and fell forward, but if you died,
you're going to be flat out.
You would collapse. You wouldn't be able to support
yourself.
She's not enough that she tucked under.
Yeah.
Because then, obviously, if you were kneeling and you fell forward, maybe you would support your own weight because your legs are bent enough. But they're not bent. They're not like a frog leg. You just have to go look. They're very barely bent. It's very weird.
Yeah. There was a good picture of her from the side where they looked a little more, but no, maybe not.
It's still weird nonetheless.
So weird.
So anyway, there was no bloody clothing found. So I also read that another on Murderpedia. Is that where this was from? Murderpedia. Mm-hmm, yep. They said that another axe murder happened nearby shortly before Lizzie's trial began, but records indicated that killer had been out of the country when the Bordens were murdered. And I'm wondering if this is the Visalia axe murders, and forgive me if I say that wrong. I can never remember how to say that, but Visalia? Visalia? I don't remember. I'm saying that the same way every time. But I think it was an axe murder, and they don't even know who it is. So actually, that couldn't be that then, because how would you know the murderer was out of the country if you don't know who the murderer was? I don't know. We'll just roll with the fact that was what that said. Andrew and Abby's bodies were also tested for poison during their autopsies because Abby thought that they were poisoned, not that they were food poisoned. But there was no poison because they were food poisoned because they ate stew that was left out. So, hey, lesson 1. Refrigeration is key.
Yes.
Like, put that shit in the fridge.
Yes.
Well, anyway, on June 20th, the jury deliberated for an hour and a half. That is it. An hour and a half. And they acquitted her.
What the fuck does that mean?
She is not charged with... She's not the murderer in their eyes. Yeah, exactly.
I can prove to you otherwise.
I know. With all of the evidence I've stated thus far. Yeah.
Yeah. She was in some way involved.
Yeah. But Nope, she was acquitted. So, you know how, like, OJ was acquitted. He was not the murderer of, but he was. Okay. But he was not the murderer of his wife. Well, ex-wife, whatever. Nicole Brown.
Yeah.
And...
So, wait, is that the end of it?
Well, no, so, kind of, but no. Okay. So, no one was ever charged. They never, like, recharged anybody. They never tried again. So, I mean, yeah, as far as that goes, yeah, that's done. No one is put away for these murders. There are theories that perhaps it was still Lizzie that killed them, because it was Lizzie that killed them.
Yeah.
But that she was in an altered mental state, which she might have been, but she still killed them.
I would say most serial killers are likely in some sort of, not saying she was a serial killer, but like...
Right, no. Definitely not.
You're in some sort of altered state.
I would argue that almost any murder is done in an altered state, because if you were in a sane state, you wouldn't murder another human. However, not to the degree of you didn't know what you were doing. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you're saying. Like, your mind has to be some sort of...
fucked up.
Yeah.
But anyway, so...
Yeah. I think we could go on to that forever.
I know, and I think we have.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that the point is Lizzie obviously did this, but anyway, some think that she did this because she was angry at her father for killing her pigeons. I swear to God, I hope not. If you kill somebody that aggressively because they killed a bird that's literally not yours. It is a wild bird. Like, you got... Whew, but boy. No. So I truly think that that's, like, an out there reason, and I don't think that's it, but I guess if you want to believe that, if that makes you feel better...
Okay.
Sure.
We'll go with it.
Some still believe that it may have been Bridget. Maybe she was angry at them for making her clean the windows when it was the middle of the heat wave and she was on the 3rd floor, and I think that's quite bullshit, because that's really not a reason to kill somebody. 2 people. 2 of your employers. You're getting paid by these 2 people. You're not going to kill them because you're doing your job.
Yeah.
You know? That doesn't... No.
Fair.
And especially if she was recovering actually from food poisoning, I don't think she would have had the energy to do it twice. Probably not even once, but definitely not twice.
Unless she was faking her food poisoning.
True, but if she ate the stew, I don't think she... If everybody... I mean, all of them got sick.
True.
So probably not.
Okay.
Now, some people think that it was Andrew's suspected illegitimate son, who, by the way, I'm pretty sure I read, found out that that he's not his illegitimate... It's not his. So, it's suspected... and then not. But,
okay.
But some people still want to think that it was his suspected illegitimate son who tried to extort money from him, and then when that failed, he killed him. I only read that really like 1, maybe 2 places, and then I read that was not his son. So we're gonna just ignore that one altogether. That's okay. We're taking that out of the lineup. We're not taking that out of the story, but that's no longer an option for you to pick.
Gotcha.
Some people think that Emma created an alibi in Fairhaven, which is only 15 minutes away from Fall River, and then she snuck back home to do the murder before returning back to Fairhaven. Is it possible? Sure. Is it likely? I don't think so. You know?
I'm looking just because I'm curious.
Are you looking Fairhaven from here?
Yeah.
Oh, that's like by the Cape.
Yeah. Fall River.
Where's Fall River? I didn't know that was like Cape area. I thought that was like Boston-y area. Oh, no, it's not.
It's only an hour and 40 minutes away from us.
Yeah. It's not far. This case is not far from where Sam and I are.
But anyway, and Fair River or what was it?
Fairhaven
and Fall River were not too far away from each other. Like 10 minutes.
15 minutes from each other. So it is possible, but is it likely?
Yeah, it seems far-fetched.
Yeah. And a lot of work to kill people that otherwise known to us don't have any there's no reason for her to, but hey, I don't know her life, so
Yeah.
you know.
True.
And again, like, all of these are really just speculations because we'll never really have a real clear-cut answer, especially because the person I believe did it was acquitted of the murder, so she's done.
Yeah. I think between, like, just, one, the clothing. The clothing
Right,
kinda
burning
speaks
your
it all.
dress was just suspicious. Suspicious.
Yeah. And then not having an accurate story, like, whenever you're being asked what's going on. Meh. And then she just seemed like she was jealous in the first place about, what's her face?
Abby?
Yes.
Yes.
The one who was killed.
Yes, yes. And she didn't like
I
her.
suck at names.
That's fine. You didn't do the research. I did. Abby, she always, I mean, from the very beginning, she did not like Abby. But I never took that as she didn't like her father. But listen, stranger things have happened.
True.
You know? So I do think that, I think Lizzie did it.
So why was a nursery rhyme created?
Oh, I don't know. Just to be creepy.
Oh.
Yeah, that has really not a goddamn thing to do with the story whatsoever.
People just were like, we're going to jump on this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after this trial happened, Lizzie and Emma bought a house together in a different neighborhood in Fall River. It was in a place called The Hill, which was the richer area of Fall River at the time. And they named their, like, estate, home, or whatever, Maplecroft. I don't know. Anyway.
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't know.
Oh.
It just is what they called their house.
Oh.
And yeah,
I thought there was some sort of, like,
no
meaning.
So, this is where Lizzie also dropped the name Lizzie Borden, and she went by, ready? Lisbeth A. Borden. Now, can you tell me why you would drop Lizzie and keep Borden?
Yeah.
As though the Borden name is not the one that's the problem. Like, Borden, Andrew Borden, Abby Borden.
Everybody knows.
Borden is the problem.
Yeah.
It's not Lizzie.
And then to go from Lisbeth?
Yeah, Lizzie to Lisbeth.
Okay.
Lizbet. Like, not Elizabeth. Lisbeth. It's just like...
To each our own.
To each their own, but I'm not into it, you know? And that's not going to help you blend in. What's your name? Oh, I'm Lisbeth Borden.
Hi.
So you're...
People are going to be like, what, did you stutter?
Yeah, right? Like, it sounds like Lizzie would have been a nickname to Elizabeth, and Lisbeth is a nickname to Elizabeth, so you're still Lizzie Borden.
Yeah.
Good job, girl.
Yeah. And why did you need to go through the efforts of changing your name to do that?
Well, because she was very much ostracized by her community because they all believed, and let's be honest, they all knew she murdered her family, and she was acquitted, and they were angry about that, and then she never left. She just moved to the more affluent part of the...
She used her father's money.
Yes. So that's what... Okay, so next, ready? So the girls I wrote were fairly lucky, if that's the right word to be using here.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not the right word at all, but, I mean, if Lizzie did it, then Emma reaped the only benefit possible from this. So, when Abby died, it was ruled that Abby died first. So, Abby's estate went to Andrew immediately.
Oh.
And then when Andrew was killed, the girls got both of their money combined to them.
See, that makes sense then, because, like, if she has some sort of vendetta against her stepmom where she, who knows, maybe she feels like she took her mom, who knows what it could be. So it makes sense. I mean, if a murder can make sense,
Right.
It makes sense as to why she went after Abby, but then it's like, where did your dad come into play?
Maybe just the money.
That makes sense. Because if they were getting all butthurt about, you gave her a house and her family got
That's
this,
true.
and
They were
like
having
you're giving
family troubles.
Yeah, and they were very much motivated by the fact that they were going to get a house for that whole dollar situation. It makes
for a goddamn dollar.
Yeah, it makes sense as to why they wanted everything.
True.
Okay.
So,
okay, I follow that.
now they did have to settle Abby's family's, I don't know what you want to call them, whatever the settlement claims.
Wait, so did Abby's family like get everything taken away from them?
No, but they did have to pay them a little bit.
Okay.
But not all of it. Like, they still made out damn good. Let's be real.
This man
In
had
money form.
True.
Yeah. And she got lucky because she got acquitted. Because it doesn't really fucking matter if you get the money, but you go to jail.
True.
So, Lizzie got lucky. Emma got... still not lucky. Her family got murdered, but she got money.
Yeah.
It's just not great, though. But, when they did get all of this money, when the two girls moved into their new house and whatever, they were able to hire a staff for their house. So they had live-in maids, they had a housekeeper, they had a coachman, which, you know, sounds uppity.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Bring us back to Salem.
Yes. Ooh, yes. Ooh, yes. Sam and I went there with our other friend Alyssa. Great times. Well,
yeah.
All of the couples went, but great. We had a great time.
Yeah. Anyway,
I digress. Emma actually ended up moving out of that house, in 1905 because the two of them had a big enough argument that she literally moved out. And I believe I read a couple places that was also the last time that the two girls ever really saw each other.
I wonder what the argument was about.
It was kind of stupid. I think that Emma had a party or something like that.
Oh, I was going to say it was about her finding out that she killed her parents or something.
Like, that would be a great scenario, but it was much more stupid than that.
Oh, never mind.
So now we're going to call her Elizabeth because that's what she wanted to go by, even though I don't really quite understand that. But anyway, Elizabeth's health. It's not even easy to say because you want to say Elizabeth.
But it's not.
Lizbeth's.
Beth.
Yeah. Lizbeth.
You have to, like, pause.
You have to put an I. It's Elizabeth. Lizbeth's.
Lizzie. Health. You're going by Lizzie.
Well, Lizzie's health declined rapidly after she had her gallbladder removed. And then she died of pneumonia within the following year on June 1st, 1927. She was 66. Which is young, but also old for the time, I feel.
Yeah. I would say so.
Yeah. So only 9 days later, ironically, Emma died from chronic nephritis, which I didn't remember to look up what that is, and I don't know what
chronic nephritis.
Nephritis. But for not seeing each other they like didn't see each other. So the irony is that they died 9 days apart from each other.
Inflammation of the kidneys.
Oh, interesting.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Itis is inflammation. Nephra is kidneys.
I wouldn't have known
kidney
nephra.
Inflammation.
So it makes sense and sad. That doesn't sound very great, but neither does pneumonia. So
true.
Neither of the girls had ever gotten married. I don't know why, because I feel like at the time that was the thing to do. You got married.
They had all the money in the fucking world.
That's true. What did they need? Because a lot of the times you did get married to get into money.
They have their coachman.
Yeah. They're doing just fine.
They're okay. It would just ruin Lizbeth's plan.
Yes.
For whatever.
Great. When they died, they were buried next to each other in Oak Grove Cemetery, which I just find funny. If you stop talking to each other for however many years, and then you die 9 days apart, and then you get buried next to each other. Whatever. And now, so, Elizabeth left $30,000 to the Fall River Animal Rescue League, which is...
It was the pigeons after all.
Yes. Okay, but $30,000 is equal to $590,000 today.
Holy shit.
She left that to the Fall River Animal Rescue League, which is fine because, to be honest, she obviously did not have any of their family to leave it to.
True.
So what the hell is the point of not leaving it to something you truly believe in? Right? But
yeah. I think case closed. It was because her father killed the pigeons.
Yes.
She was pissed, and so now she used all of his money to give it to the animal rescue.
Yep.
Be like, fuck you, I'm saving all the pigeons.
The pigeons are important.
Yeah.
She also left $500 in trust maintenance. But this is odd, because she left $500, which that's not a lot. But at the time, $500 seems a lot. Anyway, to maintenance for her father's grave. What?
I don't know what to do with that information.
It was the pigeons, but also still her dad.
So yeah, she gave the animals what would be equivalent to $500-something thousand.
That's almost pity money, actually.
Yeah, maybe like a haha.
$30,000 to the animal rescue, $500 to her father's grave.
Did she leave anything for Abby?
No. She did give $6,000 to her close friend and cousin, which at the time was a hell of a lot of money because it was about $119,000 per person. I mean, very generous. She was very generous with the money that she
what else are you going to do?
Like, it's not like she earned it. She fucking inherited it.
From murder.
For murder, yeah. And also supposedly the books that were left behind in the Maplecroft Library, some of them were signed, and those are, like, quite valuable now, which I get because on many aspects murderabilia is quite popular, for lack of better words. I'm all set, but, you know, some people are weirder.
True.
So, I don't know. But anyway, Lizzie's legacy lives on. There's a lot of current day pop culture references about her kind of everywhere, and I read on Rolling Stone that some examples are there was a ballet called Fall River Legend, and it was from 1954, and there was an opera from 1965 called Lizzie Borden, which got turned into a rock opera, which is now called Lizzie the Musical. Now, I don't really know what the hell you're making musical or very long. Like, this story isn't that deep. Like, on face value, it's a very quick story. It's really fucked up, but it's a really quick story.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I'd be interested, but not, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It didn't stop there. There was a TV movie released in 1975 called The Legend of Lizzie Borden. 2014, so much more recently, there was a Lifetime movie called Lizzie Borden Took an Axe. I've never watched it, but that would be one I'd be more willing to see, I think. That inspired a TV series, which was later called The Lizzie Borden Chronicles. And honestly, the list goes on and on. If you go, like, on Wikipedia, you can scroll down to see, like, what's it called? There's, like, a specific section. And it's called something like because the references is the sources, kind of.
I don't know.
Oh, anyway, if you go into Wikipedia and scroll down, you can see a list of things that she has been, that were inspired by her.
Which is the weirdest concept to me.
It's so odd, isn't it? Like, I understand what we're doing, but, like, making a story off of this is...
Like, to glorify?
Yeah, you're glorifying it. I'm telling you that she was a fucked up person. I am not making light of this situation. She was not good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, so I don't really understand, but you can... She's still very popular to this day. Yeah, I'm definitely very biased here, but you should go watch. There's a Ghost Adventures episode. You can go watch some ZB. I watched it on Hulu. If you look online, it tells you a specific episode number, and then on Hulu, it is not that episode. So I don't know. I watched season 7, episode 5 on Hulu. Okay.
Oh.
Okay, ready?
Here we go.
The house has now been turned into a bed and breakfast and museum.
Fucking creepy.
Why?
Well,
Why?
I saw some people, like look at this chick. She's like, oh my god, look at me.
And Andrew, it's like, excuse you?
I wouldn't.
Get off of there.
Look.
That's, like, not cool. That, to me, is not cool.
No.
That is making light of the situation. It's not okay. In my personal opinion, you should still respect that a human was murdered.
Yeah, it was like 2 people pretending as, like, in the actual sofa. It looks like.
It is. Yeah.
Like the actual
I believe
one?
it is the actual one.
That's creepy.
So I do think this is tacky. I would maybe go to the museum aspect, but I sure as hell is not sitting on the couch. And I would not stay overnight in the bed and breakfast. I'm all set.
I'm sure people are like, oh my god, all these haunted stories and blah, blah, blah. Like,
if you want to go ghost hunt there, I mean, you're probably going to have to stay there, yeah. You got to buy the room. I don't see as much of a problem with that. You know, I'm not mad about that part, but just staying over for, like, shits and giggles to sleep in the same room...
Yeah, no.
Kind of weird.
No.
But I did find out that, like, the tour is $25. but you can rent the rooms to sleep in, and they're like $275 per night, up to $300 per night, or you can rent the house. $2,125 a night to rent the house.
Who owns this house?
A couple people, I think. It's like not like one person, I don't think. But and so that's like the most current thing is that you can stay in the bed and breakfast. But I just find it so weird. So weird.
I would not. I would never. Like that's just like way too fucking creepy and close like to the actual fucking murder. I'm gonna eat this candy corn.
Okay. So anyway, guys, I mean that's really all I have for you. I don't think we need to discuss it much further. I think we both agree that Lizzie killed her parents.
Lizzie killed.
She should not have been acquitted. This whole situation is not right. Mm-mm. And they had food poisoning because you have to use refrigeration if you want it to last.
And yes,
like, it's just,
yes. And also, if there was a nursery rhyme created about this whole thing, I think that means that the majority of people believe she also killed her. Mm-hmm. Like, come on.
Also, the wine was good enough that we both finished, like...
I finished 2 glasses.
2 glasses without any struggle, so it's a good one. I might up that to 4 bottles.
I'd say 4.
4 wine glass... Not bottles. 4 wine glass emojis.
4 bottles.
4 bottles. Damn.
I like it because you don't have a heavy alcohol flavor.
Yeah, because it's not as heavy as some reds.
Yeah. It's good. I would say 4, so I would buy this again, I think. In the
skeleton.
Yes. And it's a cool label.
It is really cool. Yes. For spook season especially.
It matches our things.
It does.
Kind of.
Like the decor of our room. So
yes.
It'll probably end up on a shelf because it's cool.
It is. I like it.
So.
Well, with that being said, do you have any other comments about the wine other than in the end we would buy it again?
No, I don't know if I would bother. I'd probably try something else before I'd buy it again.
I think I might buy it again, actually.
Okay. I don't think I would, but to each their own.
Fair.
That is a thing.
Fair.
So
I'll buy it for you again.
Great.
Yeah. Well, I'll stop eating this candy corn so then I can say thank you like we always do. Thank you so much for listening this week. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Just search Chilled and Killed Podcast.
YouTube too, just, because we have not uploaded in a little bit, but we will start uploading again.
Yes. If you love this podcast, which we really hope you do, please go rate us on Apple Podcast or wherever you listen. Also, feel free to send us an email with any questions, comments, or concerns, or requests at ChilledAndKilledPodcast@gmail.com, and we will be back next time. Wait, before we do our, it was also exciting because we got one of our very first requests from ChilledAndKilled@gmail.
Thank you. We will be on that shortly.
We are super excited, super thankful for you listening to us and for giving us requests. So everybody else, please send us requests. We are always looking for new information. So on that note, until then, bye.
Yes.